This is CNN.
Magic Johnson's presence on the U.S. Olympic team could mean some Australians' absence from the basketball court.
I'm Bobby Batista from CNN Center in Atlanta. The fear of AIDS could tarnish the quest for the gold at this year's Summer Olympics. If Magic Johnson plays for the U.S. basketball team, Australia says it might walk out. Johnson retired from the LA Lakers last year after testing positive for the virus that causes AIDS, but the basketball great says he would still like to play for the U.S. team in Barcelona this summer. The senior medical director of the Australian Olympic basketball team says Johnson could pass on the AIDS virus. And a center on the Australian team says if given a choice of playing for the gold or forfeiting and taking a silver medal, he would settle for the silver. Australia is considered a top contender for a medal. But in an interview with CNN affiliate KCAL, the team doctor admitted the risk of getting AIDS on the court is slight.
We would not compel one of our players to play in a team in which an HIV-infected person was known to be participating. Now, we would let the players themselves decide if they felt that constituted too great a risk to allow them to play. We do know that from time to time there is a wound occurs during basketball and there may be a little bit of blood around, but we know that it's not truly a body contact sport and that lacerations are pretty uncommon in matches.
The Australian Olympic Committee is backing off talk of a boycott. Australian Olympic officials say the team physician is not speaking on behalf of the Olympic Committee.
Ever since his retirement last November, Magic Johnson has been working out every day, preparing to play in the NBA All-Star Game next month and for the United States Olympic team this summer. How great is the risk that the infected blood of an HIV-positive athlete like Johnson could get into an open wound of another basketball player? Basketball, with its body blows and flying elbows, can get bloody at times, particularly in international play.
We're told it's pretty safe, but it is a contact sport, and there is blood on the floor, so to speak.
This week, at least 2 members of the Australian Olympic team said they would not feel safe playing against Johnson and said they would walk off the court if Johnson walked on, a position supported by the team's chief medical director.
If a player had real concerns and was very disturbed about the potential, if he perceived it as such, of obtaining infection, well, that, I guess, he'd be permitted to withdraw from that match.
But Robert Voy, former chief medical officer of the United States Olympic Committee, says there is very little risk.
The chance of getting AIDS in basketball is incredibly small, if possible at all.
Today, the National Basketball Association announced its all-star team, including Johnson, who was voted a starter by the fans. The league said after consulting with medical advisors and Johnson's doctors, his play should not pose any health risk to Magic or other participants. NBA players are divided on the issue. Drazen Petrovic of the New Jersey Nets will play for the Olympic team from his native Croatia.
I'm glad the Magic will be there and playing for a U.S. team, and if I got to play against him and guard him, that's fine with me.
But Petrovic's teammate, Chris Dudley, disagrees.
Even if the chance is very small, we're not talking about catching a cold. You're talking about something that's life or death. So.
And in the latest issue of Sports Illustrated, one U.S. Olympic basketball player is quoted anonymously as saying, "I don't see how any of us could feel we were completely safe if he got injured and started bleeding." Johnson was unavailable for comment, but it appears he will be returning to the court again, this time confronting not only his opponents, but fears about the virus he carries.